Hello and welcome, baby. Here we are, December 30th. I can't believe it. I really cannot believe that we're almost through this year. They go quicker and quicker and quicker the older I go. And I'm kind of glad to get this one by me, even though it's been a great year. It's been a great betting year. It's been a great football year. It's been a great sports year. There's a lot of things to recap on that. Um, but it's almost over. We're moving into 2022. Some of you are in fantasy championship matchups. Wow, it's crazy. And you won't win it until 2022. How awesome is that? You play all year in 2021 and don't get paid till 2022. Don't have to report that on your taxes, all you big winning guys. But for what it's worth, just want to say, it's been a good year, a good regular season year. No Thursday night football tonight. First one this season because they always have only had this way. But so we don't have anything no football betting to look at tonight. I know Thursday night football, which means we made it through an entire season once again of Thursday night football on NFL Network, which I really love. Love those guys. It's a lot of fun, and I'm bummed because there's no football tonight. You know what I'm saying? So that's over, and we don't have anything to talk about as far as the game that goes today. But what we're going to talk about today is the top IDPs, man. Because I'm IDP Iggy, and we need to focus and finish this show out talking about the IDPs this year that did really well, that need to get recognition, and maybe talk about Defensive Player of the Year bet. I thought for sure it was on TJ Watt last year. I bet really heavy. I was watching the award show. Let's go. Yeah, TJ, baby, no doubt about it. I gave it to Aaron Donald. So it's kind of weird, how they'll let us do this. Remember what I said, though, that the NFL panders to the Rams, right? So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Cooper Kupp gets some kind of accolade for what he's done. That he might even be in the MVP race. I honestly think it's Cooper Kupp or Aaron Rodgers. It really can't be anybody else. And it should be Aaron Rodgers, but with the media's dislike of Aaron Rodgers, they could do something like pander to Cooper Kupp in the LA Rams. But let's have a look at it. This is the Fantasy Football Sevens format. The best IDPs in this format, which is the best IDP scoring format there is. No offense to everybody else, it's the best. It makes more sense when you play on this Fantasy Football Sevens IDP format because it directly correlates with your offensive players. Now let's have a look at the top 10 IDPs of the year. A name that has been on the list a lot, but nobody's giving him recognition. Nobody's talking about him for the All Pro, even though they should. And that is Fuyu Olakon out of the Atlanta Falcons, my friends. Yeah, he leads all IDPs, not just linebackers. He leads defensive linemen, defensive backs, linebackers. What you're going to notice when you read this top 10, there's nothing but linebackers because that's how the format is. They should be your highest scoring people because they're the studs of the defense. But he's largely got there. He's only got 2 sacks. He's only got 2 tackles for loss. He's only got 2 interceptions. He's only got 4 passes defended. He's gotten there by being a tackling machine. He has a total of, looks like 88 solo tackles, 78 assisted tackles. That's unreal, man. So for you, Alakun, make sure you put respect on his name. I've been talking about him all year. And all right, I don't watch college football too much, but I did know that Michael Parsons was going to be really, really good. When the Cowboys were disappointed, when he fell to him, I didn't understand why, because I thought he was the best linebacker, the best defensive player in this draft. Yes, that includes Patrick Surtain. Yes, that includes anybody else that you want to add into that list. All right. I thought he was going to be the best, and he's lived up to every. He went and played a position he didn't even play in college, edge rusher. And he got 13 sacks in it. He excelled beyond belief in it. Um, and he's just awesome, man. He's got 243.25 points. Michael Parsons coming in 13 less than Fuyu Olakon, but it's good enough for second. And he's largely there by his 13 sacks and 29 quarterback hits. 29 quarterback hits. He played inside linebacker for like the first 3 games of the year. It's amazing. Michael Parsons, for all you dynasty players, go get him, man. There's nothing to even question about it. Just go do that. Of course, there's my man Bobby Wagner, who people want to talk noise on and say he's old, and I think he's just doing what he's always done, and that's just the tackling machine. Only 1 sack, only 1 interception, only 1 forced fumble, only 3 QB hits, only 5 passes defended, but 93 solo tackles and 77 assist tackles. Bobby Wagner, he may go down as the best linebacker I've seen during his time in the NFL, an interior linebacker that played consistently and better. I don't think there is one. You could maybe say Luke Kuechly. He was hurt a lot more than Bobby Wagner, man. Bobby Wagner is the real deal, man. He's a Hall of Famer. And he's sitting with 239.4 points. Number 4, TJ Watt. Yeah, I told you guys to go get him. Told you he was a stud. I mean, he's missed a lot of games, and he still has 17 and a half sacks. It's ridiculous. He has 40 tackles, 14 points, 17 and a half sacks, 31 QB hits. My God. Good enough for 234.15. So Parsons to Watt's pretty crammed up, only about 9 points separating them. And let's just go ahead and add this guy to the list because he's at 234. He's only 0.15 behind TJ Watt, a guy that I think was at least at one point a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year, and that's Roquan Smith, man. It just does everything for that defense, you know. No Khalil Mack, so Robert Quinn and Roquan Smith have definitely stepped it up as the studs in that defense. And he had 87 tackles, so he has 87 tackles, 61 assists, 3 sacks, 10 tackles for loss, 1 interception. So he's just a tackling machine. That's how he gets it done. You got to have one of those on your team, man, because there's several ways to get IDP points, but the very basic statistic for an IDP is tackling. And if somebody's a tackling stud as much as he is, you're going to get points, and you're going to love him, and you're going to be happy he took him. That's just the bottom line. So Roquan Smith, 234 points. Devondre Campbell out of Green Bay, baby, let's go. Rounding out and finishing in the 6th spot so far. Not finishing, he's currently in the 6th spot. How about this? The most unassisted tackles at 95. He has 95 solo tackles with 43 assisted, 2 sacks, 5 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, 5 passes defended, 6 QB hits, and he's coming in at 231.2 points. So Bobby Wagner at 239, Devondre Campbell at 231.2. That rounds out some really tough linebacker competition, and let's see how they end the year. Let's see if any one of those places can change. How about this, though? Another excellent. I told everybody about this person when he came out the draft. I knew he was the real deal just by looking at him. I wish the Green Bay Packers would have took him. I wish the Green Bay Packers would have had a chance to take Michael Parsons. Instead, we got Devondre Campbell somehow I didn't even know about, and he's been a stud. But let's get back to this young man out of Texas Tech. I'm talking about Jordan Brooks, Bobby Wagner's co-linebacker. He's awesome, man. He's not even through his rookie contract. Look out for Jordan Brooks. I've been saying it since he got drafted. 89 solo tackles, 66 tackles. So the Seattle Seahawks linebackers dominating the tackles. Bobby Wagner has 93 solo. Jordan Brooks has 89 solo. I mean, with 2 more games left on the regular season, you're talking about 2 inside linebackers that could have over 100 solo tackles. He has 89 solo tackles, 66 assisted tackles, only 1 sack, only 1 forced fumble. He's doing it all through the tackles. Mr. Jordan Brooks coming in at 223.9, man. What a stud. What a stud. And here's a name that kind of surprised me because it's somebody that has owned this person all year. Devin White is sitting at 213.75 points. Good enough for 9th place. You know what I'm saying? And he's missed games. He seemed like he had weeks that he didn't get any points, and then he had monster games. And he's mainly done it through tackling this year. He has 82 solo tackles, 40 assisted, 3.5 sacks, only 1 fumble recovery, and only 3 passes defended. So and then with Levante David out, he's going to have to do a lot more of these last 2 weeks and through the playoffs if he's going to get on there. But he hasn't made the big plays like he did last year. All right. And the real surprising name, to tell you how good of a year that this gentleman's had, he's missed 3 games, and he's missing another one, right? And he's still going to he's still in 9th place. I'm talking about Denzel Perryman, guys. He was ahead. He was the top for a long time. He missed 2 weeks. He came back and got like 4 tackles last week, and now he's going to miss this week with COVID. And he's still in 9th place, people. And he's already had his bye week, of course, like everybody else, I guess, now. But he has 89 solo tackles, 49 assisted tackles, and that's no sacks, no interceptions. He does have 2 fumble recoveries, 3 passes defended. So he's done this strictly with just tackling. And he's, like I said, he's missed 2 games. He's going to miss his 3rd one. He should have easily had he should easily have been the leading solo tackler. I mean, Devondre Campbell has 6 in front of him, and like I said, Perryman's missed 2 games. So Denzel Perryman coming in at 9th with 211 points, my friends. Rounding out the top 10, another linebacker, Eric Kendricks, man. Just solid every year. Doesn't get the respect he deserves, nor does Harrison Smith. They play in Minnesota. They don't get a whole lot of national televised games. They don't make deep runs most of the time. 75 solo tackles, 59 assisted tackles. Now, dig this. He's got 5 sacks. He has, what else you got? You got 1 fumble recovery, 4 passes defended. So mainly getting it done with tackles, but also 5 sacks. That's a heck of a number for an inside linebacker, man. There's nothing to not like about that. I do want to highlight the highest defensive lineman coming in at number 11th, Nick Bosa. He has 38 tackles, 8 assisted, 15 sacks, 19 tackles for loss, and he has 30 QB hits. So he's bringing the pressure, all via pressure. That's how most of your defensive linemen are. If they're not getting sacks, they're not going to be way up there. But Nick Bosa is above 200, and he deserves to have some recognition because he's having quietly a very great year in San Francisco. C.J. Mosley's number 11, Alex Singleton number 12. Looking for a first defensive back in this scoring system. And no surprise, it's Derwin James. Welcome back to just dominating it all. He had 67 tackles so far, 36 assists, 2 sacks, 12 and a half, that's sack yards. He's got two interceptions, it looks like. Yeah, 2 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles. So he's doing no good. He only has 5 passes defended. He's more of a traditional in-the-box safety. I mean, he's sitting at, 103 tackles on the year, and he's been questionable the past 3. So there you have it. Some of the top IDPs for the year, man. I think that when we look at these matchups, all these people, you're probably starting them, right? Make sure you keep Perryman out. Devin White's going to have a good game against the Jets. TJ Watt's going to have a great game against Cleveland. Micah Parsons, that's going to be interesting watching that. Foyo Oloku is going to have a good game. Devondre Campbell, he's going to be eating up Dalvin Cook or Madison wherever they go. He's going to have a lot of tackles. I don't even question Bobby Wagner or Jordan Brooks, but they're playing Detroit this week, so they should also have great weeks. When we start looking at players a little deeper that might you need to take a look at. Jordan Hicks against Dallas. If they run the ball, Jordan Hicks is the guy. He wanted to be traded earlier in the year. I mean, he went from being like their best IDP to being a backup. They're like, oh, no, we're going to start this year 1 and year 2 linebacker instead of you, Mr. Hicks, who we paid a lot of money for. That backfired. He's already gotten, even though he didn't start out and played hardly any of the first few games, he already has 111 tackles, and he didn't even start the year. So Jordan Hicks, let's take a look at him. Cole Holcomb versus the Eagles, another good start. Kind of a deeper play for you guys. Don't be scared to do that. Of course, I like Kevin Byard against Miami. I like Bobby Okikere versus Las Vegas Raiders. That's going to be a good matchup. Colts and Raiders. That has huge playoff implications on the line. Haseen Reddick on the COVID. Matt Judon on the COVID. Demario Davis, where the heck he started out so hot? I think he's going to do really well against Carolina, though. Cameron Hayward against Cleveland. I like it. Jerome Baker versus Tennessee. I like it. That's going to be a heck of a game. Miami versus Tennessee. Talk about playoff implications. My God. Jaron Kearse, I like him. TJ Edwards, linebacker for Philadelphia, playing against Washington. Make sure you check him out if he's available in your league. The guy's been a stud, got 100. He has 60 plus 60 be 120 minus 4, so he's got 116. He has 116 tackles on the year already. Shaq Thompson on the COVID list. Marquise Golden on the COVID list. Jordan Poyer against Atlanta. I love it, baby. Chandler Jones, let's just be hesitant doing that. Fred Warner against Houston, a deep linebacker pool, very popular name. He's probably not available. He hasn't had that great of a year. But against Houston, I like it because they're going to try to control the clock with Burkhead or Johnson or somebody. It's got to be Burkhead after that game he just had. Brian Bird's on COVID, so watch your Carolina players, guys. All the IDPs on COVID. Trey Hendrickson very quietly having an outstanding year. Will he get to Patrick Mahomes? Let's hope so. They paid him. People might have thought that was silly because Hendrickson had so many sacks last year. They kind of thought it was a fluke because he was on Cameron Jordan on the opposite side. Far from it. Possibly Cameron Jordan had a good year because Trey Hendrickson was on the opposite side of him. Trey Hendrickson has 14 sacks. Man, I drafted him and I traded him. Oh, why did I do that? Why did I do that? He could go get the sack total. Everybody's kind of counting him out, but I wouldn't. Joe Sherbert's going to have a good game against. I think Pittsburgh's going to beat Cleveland. We'll say that for tomorrow. It's my upset pick of the week. Emmanuel Ogba at Tennessee. I like it. Darius Slay against Washington. I like it. Max Crosby versus Indianapolis. I like it. Micah Hyde versus Atlanta. We're getting super deep now. Anthony Brown versus Arizona. Rasul Douglas, can he disappoint? He's playing Kirk Cousins. Go get that money bag, baby. Uh, that's all we're trying to do here. Rashad Gary, can he get a sack against Minnesota? I wouldn't hang my hat on it. Brandon Jones, COVID. Corey Littleton, COVID. Man, oh man. Jermaine Pratt, COVID. Juwan Bentley, COVID. Josh Allen, COVID. That's the Jacksonville Josh Allen. Anthony Walker against Pittsburgh. He's going to have a great game if he's available in your league. Go pick him up. Tyrann Mathieu against Cincinnati. You got to love that. Charles Harris, defensive lineman for Detroit. If you need a defensive lineman hit, go take a look at Charles Harris. Justin Simmons against the Chargers. I like it. Christian Wilkins against Tennessee. I think he's going to have a good game. I think Miami's going to beat Tennessee. We'll save that for tomorrow as well. Quandre Diggs, I love it. Seattle versus Detroit. You got to go get it. Tremaine Edmonds versus Atlanta. He's going to be shadowing Mike Davis and Cordell Patterson everywhere they go. Same with Matt Milano. I like it. There you go. There's some of your hits. There's some of your IDP plays to help you get into your freaking championship. Bring the trophy, baby. Let's go get the mantle. Let's go get the money, because that's what this show's all about, right? It tells you on the introduction. Putting trophies on the mantle, money in that pocket, baby. That's what we're about. Go check out Iggy's Fantasy and Betting if you get a chance. Going to have the Player Pine article coming out a little later today. And there's also betting charts. Big Almo's on there. Go sign up for Super Draft while you're there. Doesn't matter which state you live in. You can bet legally on sports and win cash. Not prizes, not cards, cash. All right, go check that out. Go sign up under my name. You guys have a wonderful day. I love you. Hit me up with any questions you may have. Have a wonderful Thursday. Don't go too stir crazy without football. I'm going to try to do the same.